Welcome to the fourth tutorial for building Windows Media Player skins. In this tutorial, we'll be adding onto the player we started in the last tutorial. We will also be adding in some new features and making a couple of changes. So to get started, we're actually going to be adding in a playlist feature. And actually, I'm going to just copy the code from one of my other players. And so I'm going to copy and paste. And so here you'll see that the top is set to 0 and the left is set to 0. That indicates that this upper left corner, that indicates our point 0, 0. And then I'm just going to go ahead and set the width and height to 400. And so let's save that by hitting Control S. And you'll see that it came up with this on the screen. And you can select your different playlists to be able to begin playing music from there. But obviously it's halfway off the screen, and so what we're going to do is we're going to pull up our pixel ruler, and starting from the left side, this is our 0, and moving over, we'll see about, this is probably about where we're going to want to put it, about 575, and so in our code, we're just going to come in and change this left to be 575, and then from the top we're going to want it to be about, that's our 0, probably right around 107, 108, and so we'll just come in here, 108, and save that, and that moves it over here. But you'll see it's still off the screen, it's too big. And so what we have to do is adjust the width and height, which you can do that again with the pixel ruler, but that would just take a little bit too much of our time, so we will just go with what I've pre-measured. And so our width is going to be 343, and our height we'll set to 322. Save that. And that puts a nice little playlist onto our player. Next, we're going to be going into what's called sliders. We have both a volume slider and a seek slider. And you'll see here on the player I've added in this triangle here and this rectangle over here. That will be our background for the sliders. And so let's begin with our seek slider, which you'll notice I have several different BMP images in here for those. We have the seek, and this one is just going to lay nicely over top of the box I have on our skin. And then these little round circles are just going to be so we know where to click and drag. And so once again, I'm just going to copy the code from another player just because it's simple to do and we don't have as much time to just copy out all the code, type it all out. So if you want to take a closer look at any of the code, you can just pause the video and look at it. And so that should, let's save that. And that brings up our seek slider. You can see it's already moving because we have it on our song on mute, but it's still playing in the background. And we can click and drag it, move it around, and this little circle changes colors because we hover over it. And you'll notice that we've declared the position and declared the different images that we're using, as well as several other functions. And next we're going to go ahead and add in the volume slider, which is relatively similar. We've got the fill slider, which will fit right over top of this triangle, and then we have the thumb images, which will show us where we are along the volume slider. And so let's pull up a code for that. And then we're going to paste that in. And let's save that. And you can see we have our volume slider over here. Now it's on mute right now. But if I unmute, oh wow, that's very loud. And then you can change the volume by just clicking and dragging. Go ahead and put that back on mute. And the next thing we're going to do is I've actually changed this button from previously being stop. I've changed it to be a repeat button. You can see as I hover over it, it still says stop because we still have the code as a stop button. And so what we have to do is go back into our button group and find the stop element. And we are going to change this into our repeat button. And so what I'm going to do is copy and paste the shuffle from our other player, put it in here, and then get rid of the stop element. And you notice the mapping color is the same, so we don't have to change anything else, just the telling it what that mapping color is supposed to do. And then Control Save, and then refresh our screen. And you'll notice as I hover over it, says Turn Shuffle On. And so if we hit Turn Shuffle On and go to Next Song, you'll see that it skipped 2 different songs, and that means our shuffle is working. And then if we turn the shuffle off and go to the next song, it goes straight to the next song instead of skipping. So that looks like that button is working. And another feature we want to add in is to display our current track, what song is playing and how long the song will last. And so to do that, once again, I'm just going to copy some code over. Let's see. And we want our current artist. And let's come all the way down here. On some of these features, you have to be very careful to make sure they're outside of the button group. So if they are inside, they won't work. So you have to make sure they're after. So that's our current artist. And you'll notice, again, it has the location, how big it is. And there's also, it's called scrolling. And so once we have that up, it should work for us. That one's not wanting to work for us today, so we'll cover that in our next tutorial, it looks like. And so next, let's just go and do our title. Save that and minimize. And then you'll see that is scrolling across the screen because we have the scrolling set to true. There's our location and our width and height. And so it just shows what song is currently playing. And then the next thing we're going to add is how long the song lasts, which is the duration. And so we're going to just copy that code over, paste, and then save. And it shows the song that is 3 minutes and 39 seconds, which is the length. And one other feature we're going to add is we want to know how many seconds or how far into the song we are, in which we actually just need a little bit more code, which is the time elapsed. And it's pretty similar to some of these other features. We'll just add that right after the seek slider. It can really go anywhere else after the button group, but I just feel like it would fit there nicely. And over here you'll see that it is counting up where we are in the song. And that concludes this tutorial. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for our next tutorial.